watched that beautiful video. I was there, as you heard, a couple of years ago. And it's a trip that I would never forget. First, I have discussed to be with the Yeshiva and the Rebbitzin. You see the way people who speak a different language, a different culture, a whole different world. You see the way they have respect for the Yeshiva. It's something that's inbred in Klal Yisrael. Anybody that knows the history of the Jewish people knows that for hundreds of years the Russian country as a whole, the Russian leadership, the Russian church, more than any other country, fought Yiddishkeit. They tried to destroy the Jews, to kill them physically and spiritually. And when you go there and you see that these people, it's not like in America where we can do what we want. For 70 years they didn't know what Torah was. For hundreds of years the Maskilim, everything that we learned in all the Jewish history was in Russia. The fights that went on to keep people Jewish. And you come to this country and you see that there are still Yidden after everything that was done to destroy us. Everything that could have been done was done. And there's still little Russian kids with funny accents. They want to learn Torah. How can we turn them down? How can we say no to them? We're now in the season of Purim. Purim is the season of Mechias Hamolech. Lech Kenois Eskola Yehudim. In order to bring Mashiach, we need to bring everyone together. Because Mashiach comes from Achdus. Every person, every Shevet is a different limb of the body of Klal Yisrael. The Russian people are a limb. It could be a leg. Who says that they're a pinky? It could be something that Klal Yisrael stands on, that without having Soviet Jewry with us, we can't have Mashiach. We want to bring Mashiach, and we want to bring Torah everywhere, and we care about other people. We have to help the Russian children and their parents. And we shouldn't be such big shots, because just like it was decided that our parents, the younger people, it's your grandparents, should be able to escape to America. In their day, the people that didn't go to America went to Russia. They were considered lucky. And it's no fault of their own that they're in the matzv that they're in. So the Yeshiva said it's Hatzolos Nefashos. It's a chesed shebechsadim. It brings Achdus in Klal Yisrael, and brings Mashiach, and brings more Torah and more Oira, purifies the world and makes the world better for us, wherever we are. We see the Yeshiva, how he's Mois and Nefesh. Those of us who remember Rebellion, after the Chaim, what he did for this organization, the least we could do is write a check, give a crest. Now we return to paid programming.
Just want to make mention, Rabbi Spero-Lakewood is on the board of Operation Open Curtain, is here tonight. Thank you for all his help. Now, for tonight's guest speaker who came in especially tonight from Baltimore, it's the biggest chus to hear from the world-renowned author, lecturer, who's going to give us a keynote speech right now.
Talk about subtle introductions. Paid programming has many connotations. I'd like to begin Lipschutz to Rosh Yeshiva. I don't know how you have the kaya. I travel probably a quarter of what the Rosh Yeshiva does. Tonight I'm driving back to Baltimore, and I don't know what time. Tomorrow I'm driving back to New Jersey. The only difference between the Rosh Yeshiva and me is that I will go home, and then I will fetch to anybody who will listen I'm overworked and underpaid and nobody appreciates me. And the Rosh Yeshiva does it with a smile, and he carries Klal Yisrael on his shoulders. May the Rabbi Shalom grant you with continued gesund and koiches and be able to continue to lead us and to guide us. Rosh Yeshiva, we need you. I started writing for the Yechiel some, I don't know, maybe 15 years ago almost. And Rabbi offered me an opportunity, and I'm eternally grateful. But as our friendship has grown, I've discovered so much about him. But I think the greatest thing I could say about Rabbi is that he's become the champion for the underdog. He rallies behind the cause, and he backs it, and he uses the power of the media and the koiches that the Rabbi Shalom has given him to grab hold of whatever nitzrich it is and to bring it to the finish line. And my bracha to you and your Rebbetzin is to enjoy this beautiful home, to celebrate many simchas, and all the effort that you invest in the klal should be repaid back to you kiflei kiflayim, and you should be zoich to many years of gesund panos and nachas. Going down the line, he's not here, but I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio, with the Dessler family. If Rabbi was here, he probably would say that he somewhat raised me. And that's not wrong. His son Sio is here, Yidin Nafshi. And I want to go back about 30-some years, maybe 32, 33 years. I was learning as a bacher in Eretz Yisrael. And the Desslers used to come to the Plaza Hotel for Sukkot. And I was zeicha to leech off of them. I was a hungry bacher, and I needed, just recording for my mother, I'm sorry. And I needed a meal. The Desslers invited me. We would perform a little bit, we would sing, we would entertain. But I remember one incident. There was a restaurant right around the Plaza Hotels called Ten Li Chow. For those that are a little bit older in the room, they'll recall it was a Chinese restaurant. And one Chol Hamoed night, they invited us. And we got to the restaurant, and they graciously, of course, gave us whatever we wanted to eat. And then I see Reuven walks in with what looks like a portable phone booth. It was a cell phone. Nobody had them in those days. It wasn't a cell phone, it was just like a portable phone. It was mamish yay big. And he walks over to me with a big smile on his face. And he says, Yechiel, call your mother. Call your mother. I don't know what it cost in those days to call. But I called, and the joy and the laughter. And I was thinking about that over the last 24 hours. I don't think I'm stretching here. The desire he has is to allow for Yiddish Kinderlich to connect with the Imo Yilah, with the Shekhinah Kedoshah. He wants to be able to bring back those who have been lost for decades, if not centuries, to reconnect to their roots. And tonight, over the next few moments, I will speak. My newfound chaver, Chaim, will hopefully help me along a little bit over here. And I ask you to open your neshamas a little bit, and then afterwards open your wallet. The Gemara tells us that the matzis hashekel is in the times of the Beis Hamikdash, but nowadays that there's no matzis hashekel, it's stuck and it takes the place. Rabbi Shapiro in his Shurei Leil Shishi, Mamish Kimat transcribes what he said. He asked the question, what's the shaykhs between the two of them? What does matzah shekel have to do with stucco? Matzah shekel is karbonis hatzibur. Every person in Klal Yisrael would give a matzah shekel would go to the karbonis hatzibur. What does it do with stucco? And he quotes from Mari Nevuchim. I never knew the Mari Nevuchim. Maybe some of you were aware. Mari Nevuchim, the end of Mari Nevuchim, shows a difference between the following three things. Between chesed, mishpat, and stucco. Chesed is when you have a tremendous nedivus halev. You want to share it with somebody. Mishpat is when you owe somebody money. You have to give him. Stucco, says the Mari Nevuchim, is a blend between the two. It's when a person has a Milas HaNefesh, their soul is elevated, and they're so inspired that they take upon themselves a chayiv. And he says this is why maybe people have to pledge tzedakah and then give it. You accept upon yourself this inspiration as a chayiv that you owe it. It's no longer because you want to be a nice guy. It's no longer because your heart breaks. It's because it's a chayiv and you owe it to each individual. The Nedivas Halei is the chayiv of tzedakah. The shekel is gematria nefesh. And what Matzah Shekel tells us is split your nefesh in two. One belongs to you, and then the other part of your nefesh, when you give that Matzah Shekel, you owe it to the tzibur. You owe it. It's not just you're being nice. There's a Yid, Rabbi David Grossman. Rabbi David is a tremendous Makar of the Fashists of Klal Yisrael. And Rabbi David Grossman lives in Migdal Emek, the Rav there. He has a yeshiva called Migdal Or. And in this yeshiva, there was a person. It's a bacher. Came from a broken family. And in this broken family, there was one boy who had an neshama tahira. It was unbelievable. He wanted a little something more. So he decided, even though there were schools that were closer, they were less religious, he decided he's going to this yeshiva's Migdal Or. His family found out, coming home with so many religious practices, they didn't want it. And so he decided, you know what, no more. They pulled him out of yeshiva. They told him you have to come back home. And within weeks, no longer was he shaymer Torah mitzvahs. No longer was he putting on tefillin. Became a Machal Shabbos. Finally came Purim. It was Purim night, the Olam was freilich, they're dancing and singing. And all of a sudden, this boy, his name is Danny. Danny walks into the Beis Medrash. David sees him out of the corner of his eye. And he says, Danny, come here. And in front of the whole Olam, brings him up to the bima, and the Olam's standing around. He says, Danny, I want to ask you something. Do you love me? He says, Rabbi, I love you with all my heart and soul. He says, Danny, you want to give me Shalach Manas? He says, of course, Rabbi, I'd love to give you Shalach Manas. He says, and I asked for 2 months. Give me your guf and give me your nefesh. That's what I want. And with that, you'll be Mekayim Mishlech Manas Ish L'Re'einu. Because when you give it to me, when you come back to the Rabbi Shalom, the greatest friend, the best friend that we all have, is the Rabbi Shalom. Give him your guf and your nefesh back again. He came back to yeshiva. And today, Dani is a Rebbe in Migdal Or. And every year he gets up Purim and he tells over the Meiser. And one by one, the nefashos of Klal Yisrael come back because we give the guf and the nefesh. Rosh Hashiva is here. And it's known that Rabbi Yaakov had a tremendous love, felt a tremendous sense of achrayus in the Russian Jews. And when the school started, the Argola school started way back when, in the mid-70s, they had 400 children enrolled. And then all of a sudden, the school fell apart. Weeks, if not days, before the school year started, and Rabbi Yaakov called an emergency meeting. He said, Rabbi, there's 400 Yiddish kindle here. This is all they have. Us. I am being mechayiv everybody in this room, every manal and ma'ala. You have to take a class of Russian children. Somebody built up the chutzpah to say, and Rebbe, what if we don't? What if we feel that it's going to shter us? It's going to shter our children. After all, these kids are, some of them are Mechal Shabbos, most of them. They don't have the same standards that we do. What will you do? He says, what will we do? And Rabbi Yaakov was so contrary to his personality, to everything that we've learned about him. He said, then we will have nothing to do with you. Because the Rabbi Shalom is asking you to take back his children. And if you want nothing to do with the Rabbi Shalom's children, then we don't want anything to do with you. And just like Baruch, tomatoes and chayrim, leave you on the outside. Tonight is not about being a nice person or allowing your heart to break for these Yiddish symbols. This is you. Anyone who opens their eyes can see. And to Rabbi Shalom, here's the saying. So Rabbi Shalom says, oh yeah? You want Mashiach? You want my children back? Well, here's your trial run. Those of us in this room that are my age, or maybe a little older, around that age, we remember the Yosef Mendeleviches. It was an impossible dream to think there would be Yiddishkeit in Russia. The Rabbi Shalom said, it's going to happen. And then there will come Iranians. And then there will come other groups who don't fit our mold, who aren't so to live in life. There will be the kids at risk. There will be the unborn children who can't come in. And the Rabbi Shalom says, is it a chayv? Do you love my children as much as I do? Are you willing to bring them back? Are you willing to take your nefesh and split it in two and take half for yourself, but half of every shekel? Tell the Rabbi Shalom, this is my chayv. These are not our friends or our brothers even in Russia. It is us. We are there. And what would you give to go free? What would you do for your children if they were stuck there? What would you do if your child was struggling with Yiddishkeit? What if you know somebody that's struggling with Yiddishkeit? Somebody once came to Chassam Sofer and said, Rabbi, I'm struggling with Parlor. He said, find another Yiddish struggling with Parlor and give him Parlor. He said, as soon as my business is able to grow, I'll give him what I have. Chassam Sofer says, no, beforehand. Pasuk says, Vigam ani shamati esnakas b'nei Yisrael. What's Vigam? Zok Chassam Sofer. Vigam, you know who else heard the cries of Klal Yisrael? The fellow Yidden in Mitzrayim. They all listened to each other's cries. The Rebbe Shalom says, you listen to their cries, I will listen to yours. You have someone that is lost. You know of someone that is lost, then redeem their nefesh. And tonight is the night when you commit to do it. Before we get into the next part of the program, I want to end my drasha following remarkable idea that they do in this camp. Tonight's focus is to raise money for the camp. The boys' camp they want to reopen. Years ago it was open. Somebody here told me that they once worked in the camp and they found years ago the boys' camp was open. And they saw a guy in New York recently, Shaiman Tyrone, he has a whole family. He says, you're my counselor. There's work to be done. Girls camp. And by the way, if you read carefully, like I've read over the last 3 weeks, the brochure, this is a cradle-to-grave organization. From the moment a child is born until the moment a person leaves this world, operational is there, redeeming their nefashos. They have a minig at the end of camp. And those of you that have ever gone to camp probably, hopefully, had a good experience. And at the end of camp, what they do is they give you a yearbook. And in the yearbooks, all the memories. And I can't tell you how often I meet people. They say, hey, remember me? 33 years ago, you were my counselor. Or I remember when I was 7, went to Camp Good in Toronto, and I had vivid memories. I came home with such a chizuk. I wanted to be like them. I dreamt of going to Scranton Yeshiva when I was a kid, because the counselors in Camp Good in Toronto were Scranton. Yeshiva Beth Moshe. And I wanted to get, by the way, that cute little notebook that you used to give out, stuck in your pocket. But let me tell you what they do in Camp Eitztak, in the girls' camp. The last day, when everybody's kissing each other and saying goodbye, they give each girl 2 candles. That's their parting present for the children. They tell you, go home and light these nails for Shabbos. There were 2 girls in the camp. They came home. They wanted to tell their parents all about camp and all about, they didn't come home with the yearbook. They came back with Yiddishkeit. And they wanted to tell their parents all about it. Their parents didn't want to hear about it. And they warned them, do you not ever practice what they taught you to do. They wanted to light candles. So this is what two girls did. They went into their bedrooms Friday night. And they took the furniture, they barricaded the door. So their parents couldn't come in. And they climbed to the top. And they lit those candles. And they sang the Shabbos Miras they had sung all summer long. And the Shabbos ignited forever. You're feeling in the Cyrus a little bit. Purim, time to give Yerushalayim once. Each l're'eh, every person needs to break their nefesh into. Give some to yourself. And then be mekabel l'choy. The truth is, be mekabel l'choy for this organization. But be mekabel l'choy for college. You're going to be there. You're going to help them. You're going to reach out. Do whatever.